personally think there's so much jewelry, I think they would fill that block, and then everybody can venture from jewelry to jewelry.
It would have, yeah, she's making a good point.
Well, because jewelry is a draw.
It's a draw. And so
Women
if
love
you pull
jewelry.
jewelry off the street and put it on taquettes, I mean, I don't know how the numbers.
So
Calm down, Faith. Jasper got this.
there's so
Calm
many jewelry
down.
vendors, right?
Well,
Not saying anything.
let's hear from staff.
There's a decent amount of jewelry vendors, but you're gonna end up in the same circumstance where you're gonna have jewelry vendors, some jewelry vendors who have been here since day one.
Yeah.
And they're gonna say, why did you
can't-
move
yeah.
Yeah.
us to
Yeah.
this street? Now, we have a loss in revenue because one of your vendors said that they had a loss in revenue. So, I mean,
So.
we're basically, as you said, gonna have to
Yeah.
figure out either we do it for one person and be prepared to do it for all of them,
Yeah.
or we don't do it for anyone. We do what's best for VillageFest as a
Yeah.
whole.
Say, if we do it for all of them, we're talking about not having anybody on taquettes, which we maybe could do over time, but like Joy said, some of the merchants on taquettes complained about that. I don't know, who's on
And it
taquettes?
was a valid point. Prior
Yeah,
to when
yeah.
we moved the farmer's market there, which was due to circumstances that
Right.
they were moved there, that area was utilized for emergency vehicles for VillageFest and for city staff vehicles. So it was a bit of a parking lot.
Yeah.
Now, once we moved vendors into that space, it did create a bit of a walkway that allowed for more pedestrian traffic in that space, allowing those merchants to get some more foot traffic, which they have been, since we moved them, extremely happy about. I mean, we've adjusted some vendors here and there, but ultimately, those merchants in that area have started to stay open later. Some of them have opened up just who never had been open on a Thursday
Right.
night. So I don't want to necessarily lose that, because I think we'll get some pushback from the merchants in that space that now we've taken that away. And although VillageFest is not intended to be revenue generated, it is nice to ensure that we're still, I mean, it's quite a few vendors that we get into that space, especially during the high season. So at some point, we're gonna have to start telling vendors, no, we don't have any space available, because we are going to
That
have
was my
lost all
question.
of those spaces on the street.
Well,
How many
if we did
spaces?
move farmer's market back on the street, and then we had that opening, and then if people were waiting to get a space, would they be happy to be on that street?
May I
And they
say two
complained.
things? One is, this isn't agendized, and I don't know that we should be having a discussion about it when it's not been agendized.
Well, we can have it
And
later.
number two is, well, you can have a report on it, but not a discussion amongst us.
Correct.
Number two is, would it be okay if I maybe question the merchants there? If they, maybe when they're out, standing out there on Thursday night, they
Yeah.
go, you know what would be great out here? And maybe
And
they-
Get a
or they're
feedback.
interested in coming out.
Yeah.
yeah, or just some kind of idea of what
Yeah.
they think might work over there.
Sure.
Maybe we could just see.
That's a good idea,
what the
if you're willing to
input
do
is.
that.
And if they have no input, then we could do what we want.
Yeah,
So staff will put it on your next agenda as an
Okay.
agendized item, so we can have a further discussion, and then we'll,
because the farmer's market was really nice when it was on,
I have another comment and question.
what?
One of my friends said they couldn't walk through to the art museum because there were booths in the way. Do you know what they're talking about? Because I sure as heck don't.
They were probably talking about Museum Way, which is the street that leads
Yeah,
from
they
Palm
were.
Canyon all the way back. We have, it's a hard closure, so we have, I mean, you can't walk on the sidewalks, but in the street, we have water barricades. So it's a hard closure because it's an easy access if someone wanted to enter the street and cause some damage to all of our
Okay.
pedestrians.
And I have just one more. I walk Takowitz and I walk the street fair, and they're just as busy as the regular. Everybody loves to look at everything, so I don't see
I just
a
brought it, you
problem
know,
with
because he
it.
mentioned it, and I told him I would.
What, no bollards at Museum Drive? They're so effective.
Oh, okay, so we're going to agendize that, so we're not.
Okay.
My question, just real quick, is do we have enough room during the season? No. Okay. That's what I wanted to hear.
Okay, the next thing is subcommittee reports. We have any subcommittees?
All you have right now is the compliance committee, and I need to work with you in regards to creating a short checklist for this team, or for this board to be able to reference upon walking up and down the street. So you and I need to work together to
Okay.
create that. We'll do it before the next board meeting.
Okay. Yeah, that's, I think at one time you mentioned, when we did a board, I think you mentioned to be on this subcommittee. Did you, at one time for compliance? I could be wrong.
Maybe. I'll do whatever you need.
Whatever, but I'll get together with you and we'll talk. Yeah.
Whose terms are up next?
Who?
You're up. Your term is expiring.
Next June or whatever, however they're doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, you're the new, the next person to,
The new kid on the block.
well, kind of.
uh,
You're
I
up
have the
too.
list.
I'm on my second term, I think.
You
You're
are?
on your first.
No, I'm on my
Yeah,
second.
I'm on my side.
You're a year, you have 1 year. your term is
Okay.
up this coming.
I was just wondering if we're
I
gonna
went
have
to
a lot
the
of
city
turnover
clerk's
or no.
office and got
Okay,
the list,
we're
if
good.
anybody wants to know. Okay.
I believe that you and I were told January, December,
Right.
because originally we were June, and then it's December.
Right.
So we
And
have
then
to,
you move.
I have to find out from city, are they going to be doing it on time like we used to? Do you
I
know?
believe the city's intent in extending our current board members who are getting ready to expire was so that all of the boards expired at the same time, and the council would do all of their interviews to try and refill everybody into the new year. So I assume they're gonna start doing interviews in December for anyone who is expiring, and then as of January, at the end, the last meeting in December, your terms should be up, and there should be replacements for you. Should.
There are two, at this time, there are 2 applicants.
And I think they're hoping to have everybody sat and ready to go as of the first meeting in January. Hoping.
Well, that means they would have to approve them at a city council meeting in December, which means they have to have the interviews beginning of November.
Correct.
We'll see.
That's going to come soon.
Yeah.
Okay, Christmas is almost here, okay. Hey, Main Street comments.
Yeah.
Anything?
It's not really a Main Street comment, but I just want to remind everybody that Thursday night is another one of the district election meetings. So it's super important to pay attention to all this, because it's going to change the
gonna
whole way
change the
that things
dynamics,
happen
yeah.
here.
Know it.
And it'll be very interesting to see. And I think personally, I like the David Friedman #2 map. That was my favorite map. He managed to keep all but one neighborhood association or organization intact. And just the way that he has it laid out, I like it quite a bit.
I wish
And
we could have gone to 7,
yes, I would have preferred
like
7
it used to
too.
be.
Then, people would end up winning with like 200 votes.
Yeah.
So anyways, though,
It's going to be,
just
yeah.
pay attention, because
it on
it's
Thursday?
interesting stuff.
Yeah,
Where's
yeah.
that meeting at on Thursday?
I think it's in council chambers.
It is.
Thursday, this Thursday? Okay, staff report.
I just wanted to, we got our new brochures that you all approved at our last meeting, or meeting prior. And then you each received 2 separate documents. One is the municipal code regarding participation as a board member. Please make sure you read through that, and then that you are in compliance with what is required of our board members in order to maintain your status on the board. And then the second one was the final letter that we created from our, our board session that we had, I think, last October, like it was a year ago
A
at this
retreat.
time. Yeah, a retreat,
A
thank you.
retreat.
Board retreat. And it was just yes, it's a welcome letter, but kind of goes over a little bit of what it is that we do. And I want everyone to go through it. If you have any comments or changes that you would like, make sure that they get to Chair Watson, and she and I will go through it and update it accordingly.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
How
I
about-
do have a question.
Okay.
So, without advance permission of the board from three consecutive regular meetings. So, advance permission from the board, would that be Dottie? Would that be staff?
It needs to come to staff that you're gonna be absent.
Okay, so for example, when I was absent following my hospitalization, I sent the email and got a reply back.
Correct.
That's advance permission.
Right.
Just wanted to make sure that's what I did. Okay.
Yes, correct. Thank you.
Yeah, and
We
this is-
appreciate that.
This is from the
I
city.
did it, correct.
This is not our rules, this is the city.
Yeah, this is
rules.
a municipal code, so it's.
Nothing to do with us,
Right.
yeah. All right, the village poster timeline?
I don't have any updates on that at this time.
Okay, the Village Fest Youth Poster Contest.
The
Not-
same.
Okay. And review of new board documents?
That's what that was.
Okay, that was this, okay. Oh, we got ahead, we did it ahead, okay. All right, anything else? If not, do I have a motion to, do you have anything else? A motion to adjourn?
I'll
Sec-
second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we are closed at 4:41.